run, shotgun, come with the option. Send big blitz, nobody blocking. Big win, that's a ring in a watch. Strong in when he come in the slot, trying to bend the corner, your limbs.
Tonight, from Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin, it's the NFC Divisional Round Playoffs on EA Sports. We'll see Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers taking on Jimmy Garoppolo and the San Francisco 49ers.
The playoffs are back at Lambeau, and the temps, well, they're where you would expect them in the frigid range. Just how the Cheeseheads like it here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Coming up, an important divisional round matchup in the NFC between the San Francisco 49ers and the Green Bay Packers. Hello, everyone. As the postseason continues here on EA Sports, we're pleased to bring it to you. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And who has the edge here? You got one side that had some extra rest, but another comes in off a win last week in the wild card round.
And it's funny, depending on which team you are, you say that that's an advantage. You'll take the rest, you'll take the week off, get your guys healed up a little bit and ready to go. But that team that's coming in off of a win last week, they're really excited to keep playing. They feel like they are hot and ready to go.
Veteran Green Bay quarterback Aaron Rodgers ready to go for drive number one along with the rest of this Packer offense.
And we can talk all we want about football being a team game and leaning on different parts and aspects in order to get it done. And that's entirely true during the regular season. Some weeks it's the defense, the special teams, running the football. But in the playoffs, all the pressure reverts to the quarterback, and he has to play well and play at a really high level in order for his team to win.
5 yards on the game's first play, second down. And Charles, despite this list of key inactives that we see here, they've obviously still been pretty successful.
Give everyone credit for this one, because to me, when that happens, key guys are out, the next man steps up and plays well, but that starts with the organization itself, all the way through. No excuses for guys being out, finding guys who are capable backups who can step up and play when they need them, and we've seen the results of that. This team knows how to work through things.
He hits Adams complete. And he's going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
A partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. And he's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
They'll run on first down. Jones. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings. And they get the guard, John Runyon. 2nd and 10. A very chilly day here, but no snow. And yeah, I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe. From midfield, here's Rodgers. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
On 4th down on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. Back deep, Travis Benjamin. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. The former second-round pick back in 2014, Jimmy Garoppolo trotting into place, looking to guide this San Francisco 49er offense.
And if he and his guys want to spring the upset here in the second round and move on, they've got to focus on the good that they did in the wild card victory. At the top of that list, protecting the football. Got a little careless last week. A few got away from it. Might not be so fortunate this time around. And if that's the case, they'll end up going home.
A nice burst there as they'll get about 7 that time on the first down run. A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Able to power through, and a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. They'll try the left side. Mitchell, and this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
Well, I would have figured after the 9-yard run on the previous play, getting 1 more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was, and now it's 3rd down.
And defensively going with a dime set, 6 DBs on 3rd and 4. Throwing now is Garoppolo. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Rashawn Gary gets in there and drop him for a loss of 13 yards, and it's also 4th down now. He seemed to have a reasonable amount of time in the pocket, but he couldn't get rid of the football, and the end result, Charles, him on the ground.
Yeah, he's got to keep an internal clock to go along with his offensive line. When you're talking about 3, 4, 5 seconds, that's a reasonable amount of time to expect to deliver the ball downfield. So great to try and complete a pass, but it's equally important to know when to throw the football away, too.
No score after 1 on EA Sports. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
On 2nd and 7, Rodgers got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Rodgers now to throw. And it's complete to Adams. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. Oh, fighting off the defender. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. Offside defense. Even with the good gain, I thought they might accept that one.
Yeah, you thought maybe they'd go with the downs as opposed to the yardage. So if you're taking the yardage now, second and less than 5, that tells me you feel good about how your offense is working.
2nd and 2 now. The penalty leaves them in pretty good shape. On play action, now Rodgers. That ball is caught. Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 30.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. The give is to Jones. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
From the 27, Rodgers over the middle, complete. That's Adams. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 12-yard line. It seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the 2nd quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Now whistles here, flag down. I think one of the Packer linemen was moving. So that'll back him up 5. Throwing now is Rodgers. And it's caught. And it's a Packers touchdown. Marquez Valdez-Scantling from 17 yards out. And the Packers are on the board first here in this division round matchup.
Brandon, what we just saw there were 2 guys who were in sync. The person delivering the ball, but especially the person running the route. Tremendous job. It results in a terrific play.
On is Mason Crosby for the point after. And it's good to make it 7-0 Packers. So that drive in total 8 plays. And the result, a Green Bay score. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their 2nd drive. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a first down. Now a give right side. It's Mitchell. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. The first-round pick, Jair Alexander, making the tackle. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. Now a quick slant as the throw's complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Throwing on first is Garoppolo. That's Samuel, caught left side. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down. And yet again, it's Garoppolo. Trying for Ayuk, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. And We'll see if that pick six looms large as this game continues, because we've seen plays like that alter a lot of playoff contests over the years.
I would agree with that totally. You often think to yourself, why do they alter it so much? Because after games, don't we hear coaches and players say, well, one play doesn't usually determine the outcome? But I don't think that's really true, do you? Because there's times when we see plays like that, and all of a sudden the momentum jumps to that team side, it deflates the other side, and they never pick it back up. And then things really go from there, don't they?
That's the thing for me. We talk about momentum changes. A play like that is the ultimate momentum change. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. San Francisco's offense returns to the field, and they gave up the pick six, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful, because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession now.
Now Garoppolo lost the football, and this is going to be Packer football. And in this very cold night air, how much harder, Charles, is it to hang on to that football?
It's a lot harder, and I know for the most part we think about a ball being slick when there's rain or snow, any type of moisture. But when it's cold and dry like this,
is cold.
And it is cold, it's also slick that way because you're not able to really grip it the same way. Your hands are cold, and then the hits seem harder. So, yeah, it's a lot more difficult to hold on to the football, which means you have to emphasize it that much more.
Wind chills right now, 12 degrees. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up second and goal. Now it's Rodgers. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not giving up 6.
Touchdown, Packers! Mercedes Lewis there to make the grab. And the Packers continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead. CD, for them, this has just been an offensive explosion here in the second quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the first quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the second. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better, and I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
Extra point up and good by Crosby, and it's now 21-0. Touchdown. Here's Crosby to kick it away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And with a 3-score deficit staring them in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Play action, Garoppolo. And looking for Kittle, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it. That's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. Caught, right side, it's Lewis. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Throwing is Rodgers. Got a man open, it's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. as the first half is winding down. And the Packers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor in effect.
Now Crosby for the point after. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them in plus territory. Excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC Divisional Round matchup. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, this is the second of 4 games this weekend as we narrow the field down to the 4 teams who will meet in the league championship games next Sunday. We'll get back out to you guys in just a moment. But first, let's take a look ahead to tomorrow's other Divisional Round game in the NFC. And it looks like we've got a good one in store, as it's going to be the Los Angeles Rams matching up against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, in our game, we're set up for a terrific second half. So to find out who will advance to the NFC title game, let's send it back out to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. And no run back here as the third quarter will commence with a touchback. The 49er offense set to go to begin quarter number 3. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Preston Smith. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop it. It looked like they were trying to get him outside there, but this defense had different plans.
Yeah, they really had an outside-in kind of a pass rush. It's almost like when you're covering a punt, you can't let him get to the outside and get to the sideline. You force him to stay in the middle of the field, and they did exactly that and made the play.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Another try after the first down sack. Garoppolo. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. From the gun, Garoppolo. They'll find Ayuk open right side. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. So 8 yards on the completion there, and it'll be 4th down. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he'll send this one into the cold Lambeau night. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
Now we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them, every move they make works, it clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Again, it's Jones. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th.
But they're certainly not neglecting their run duties as well as they ate up the blockers in front and allowed the secondary to get home.
On now is the Packers punter as he'll punt it away for the second time. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Packers pick it up. So they will set up shop. Excellent field position in the red zone at the 19-yard line.
I remember sitting in special teams meetings, and at some point during the meeting, the coach would always say, you better treat this one just like you're playing offense or defense. It's a big part of the game, and we just saw evidence of why right there with that fumble.
Yeah, fumble on the punt, and after it was turning up to be a pretty decent return.
Yeah, a really nice return. They were going to be set up okay, and the offense would feel good running onto the field, and now the defense has to try it out there and try and slow them down.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. There to stop him on the defensive side, Fred Warner. 2nd and 10 here as we sit in the 3rd quarter of this divisional round matchup. And that'll be complete to Dillon. Down he goes at the 10 with a solid pickup of 8. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And Jones is not going to have the first down as they stop him short. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. So now on 4th down, Rodgers will give way to Mason Crosby for the field goal try. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And all the gamble fails. It's incomplete. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. And the 49ers are going to get the football back. And back out onto the field comes the Packers defense. And they have forced now 4 turnovers, Mr. Davis. How have they been so effective?
It's hard to get a read on them if you're on offense because they're coming from different angles, different formations, different looks. But bottom line is, if I'm the defensive coordinator, anything on my play sheet appears to be working right now. You point it out all the time when we call games. Once they get that first one, it becomes a frenzy, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's snowballed here in this one. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Now whistles here, and I think one of the big boys for the 49ers might have jumped. And that'll set them back 5. A false start penalty, and now they're back to needing 10 yards on 2nd down. Here's Garoppolo to throw. This one caught by Kittle. And they do finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 41. A big play there for the Niners. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staff.
Touchdown, 49ers. Elijah Mitchell, 41 yards. And the 49ers make some inroads here on that deficit. Gold with the extra point, and that'll cut the lead back down to 21. 1 quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Gold now out to kick it away. Rodgers going to return it from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And it would appear that that first-round bye certainly helped. They've looked fresh from the start and no letdown here as they lead big in this divisional round, and they look to book a spot in the conference championship. 41 yards rushing for them now to this point. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now whistles here, flag down. I think one of the Packer linemen was moving. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5. They were looking good on second down, but now they're backed up 5 yards by the false start, and it's 2nd and 8. From the gun, it's Rodgers. This one to the right, caught by Valdez-Scantling. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. The offense on third down tonight, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. A give to Jones. And some room to maneuver. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
The Packers on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 4. Now whistles here, flag down. I think one of the Packer linemen was moving. That's going to set him back 5 yards. After the false start, sets up a 3rd and 9. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down. On now is the Packers punter, as he'll come on to kick this one away. Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return, and the 49ers will take over deep in their own territory. Garoppolo on first down. Drops this underneath. It's Mitchell. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. There's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Now Garoppolo. Benjamin's got it. And he'll be taken down after a pickup of about 7 as the clock will stop here for the 2-minute warning. 7 yards the pickup there. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. He'll dump that one off to Mitchell. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Garoppolo again. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Garoppolo to try again on 2nd down. It's caught. Mitchell. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. Here's Benjamin with a catch. And this is going to result in another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 15-yard line. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. Now they got to get to the line quickly. To throw again on 2nd down. Garoppolo firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they're going to speed things up here. Garoppolo going to try and throw on 3rd. Oh, they intercept Garoppolo for the 3rd time. Adrian Amos with a pick. And the Packers are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. All Smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. And I do know a few guys are going to think to themselves, held them to 7. If we'd made one more play, could have had our shutout.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
He pushes through a would-be tackler to get about 3 yards, second down.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. The Packers are moving on as we say thanks for watching and so long. So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Packers are winners here as we say so long from Lambeau.